Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Thursday, April 6th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 8 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So when it comes to the spirit animal, we are working with the Phoenix energy. So the Phoenix energy brings me to the importance of change and transformation. And change and transformation for me brings me back to, say, the day being the full moon in Libra. And recently we had a new moon in Aries. And for the new moon in Aries, I saw that new moon as an opportunity for us to reinvent ourselves. So Aries and Libra are both on the same plane, but opposite ends, extreme ends of the same thing, where Aries energy reflects us as individuals, and Libra energy reflects our ability to relate to others, things, and that creates relationships. And with the full moon in Libra energy coming up, or happening today, having to do with an ending or an evolution when it comes to, say, how we relate to people, places, or things, this could create some kind of an ending or an evolution within our relationships. So I mentioned the Aries new moon energy, and it brings me to the thought of how, like, when we change ourselves, that can change the dynamics of our relationships, and sometimes it could cause relationships and things to come to an end on a whole. I'm thinking about, say, how we could get used to each other being a certain way to the point that when we change for the better, sometimes it could be threatening. I think about, say, the whole finding love in a hopeless place type of vibe where, we can connect and bond with each other over wounds, traumas, the things that we've been through, but that's the focal point of the relationship. And a relationship is like a ship floating in an ocean. It's going somewhere. And whenever we bond over our pain and the things we've been through, but there's no growth or evolution in the connection, we're kind of stagnant. And within this universe, like, everything is growing. And if something's not growing, it's rotting, it's dying. So when I think of the Libra full moon energy, I think about how the relationship has to evolve to the next level. It has to grow. And if it's not growing, it's dying. And when I look at the Phoenix energy, I think about rising from the ash. And to me, rising from the ash is like a death and a rebirth type of situation that's happening. Let me pull a tarot before I go even deeper into it. Ooh, nice. And the tarot associated with the day is the Two of Cups energy. And the Two of Cups energy, I think, is so fitting for the Libra energy because, as you can see, these are two coming together and becoming one, two relating to each other to become one. And when I think about the Two of Cups energy, to me, it could be, say, us joining forces with another, or us reuniting with parts of ourselves and being whole and being complete. Like, I think of, say, for me, when it comes to making major changes in my life and sticking to those changes, it's like two different parts of me have to merge when it comes to it. There's a part of me that wants to make the change, but then there's another part of me that has to have the perspective that will make it make sense. I think of, they'll say, what's your why for doing what it is that you want to do? Your why is your reason. Like, it brings me to, say, becoming plant-based. and, stop eating meat. And I'll come across certain people that say, I want to stop eating meat, but it's so hard. And for me, it was my reason. Something flipped, a switch flipped in my mind when I started seeing, flesh as flesh. It's like whether that's chicken flesh or it's a dog or it's a cat or it's a human, flesh is flesh. That's how I saw it. That made that switch in my mind. This is not me telling you you should become vegan or you should eat that way, because I believe that everybody knows what's best for themselves, and diet is not a one size fits all. And I'm saying that for those who are sensitive, who might take offense to me saying that. But it was a perspective shift that happened within my mind that came together with a desire, and that unified. And I ever since August 16th 2006, I never ate meat again. I just kept looking forward. So when it comes to say the energies within this day, the full moon brings something to an end. It evolves something, and from this evolution, it's like a shift, a switch will flip, and both sides of you will merge. Two parts of you, the part that wants to make something happen and then the will to make it happen, will come together. And that forward moving momentum will shift things. It will transform things for you. Or I think of, like, say, two people coming together, and two people could come together from a conversation that needs to be had, where people are able to be vulnerable and honest about what it is that they feel, so that the situation can evolve to the next level. And it can be hard sometimes when I think about, say, connections, when you want to be transparent and open with a person in order for you to get past where you are so the relationship can evolve, it can grow. But both people have to want the same. Like, over the years, I've learned that you can't keep it real with a person who doesn't even know how to keep it real with themselves. So this is where you might go to the person and you're trying to have, like, a real heart-to-heart conversation about maybe what's going on between you, but the other person, for whatever reason, they just can't have that conversation. So they might keep BSing or dancing around the topic, and it's like, until they're ready, it just can't happen. But that doesn't mean that something can't transform within you, and that doesn't mean that you can't free yourself from the situation or from whatever is holding you. The reason why I said it that way, because in my mind, what's playing out is, two people having differences, and then one feels like there's, like, needing forgiveness, needing forgiveness for what they've done or what they feel they've done or what the other person may feel that was done to them. And that other person won't have the conversation for that level of forgiveness to happen, whether it's you need to do the forgiving or you need to feel forgiven. And what's coming to mind is just the importance of, making the change within, making the shift within. So when it comes to the Phoenix energy and the Phoenix burning, then rising from the ash, it brings me to that thought process of evolution, rising up out of a situation that once didn't work for you. So that could have been a relationship dynamic with another person, or it could have been a relationship dynamic within yourself. Because with the Libra energy, it's how we choose to relate to people, places, or things. And today is Thursday. And Thursday is ruled by Jupiterian energy, and Jupiter amplifies wherever it is. So it's amplifying the energies within today. And Jupiter is in Aries. So big focus is on us, the individuals. It's on our will. It's on how we're showing up and who we identify as. And with the day being the 6th, the number 6 brings me to community, responsibility, and responsibility of community and our role within. And to me, when I think of responsibility, I think of what is your ability to respond, or working on your ability to respond when it comes to certain things. And the energies in the day adding up and reducing to the number 8 vibration. The number 8 brings me to systems and cycles, the approach that we have towards certain things. So I think about how everything is on some kind of a system or a cycle when it comes to, say, moving forward within this realm. So the number 8 brings me to say the system or cycles having to do with the relationship, where this ship is going. It could be a relationship with yourself or a relationship with another. But what kind of a system or a cycle or approach are you using to get it to wherever you're trying to get it to? Like, I realized for myself, in order for me to have achieved certain things in my life and have peace in the process, like, I had to figure out like what systems worked for me as far as where I am right now and the goal that I'm trying to achieve. So it's like I reflect on where I am, I reflect on where I'm trying to go, and reflect on the kind of system that will get me to wherever it is that I'm trying to go, what it is that I'm trying to achieve. So when it comes to, say, the energies of today, you want to reflect on the systems that you're working, the systems that you use to get to wherever it is that you're trying to go, the systems that you use to achieve the things that you want to achieve within your life. Like, I remember when I started becoming more consistent with YouTube, I had to create a system for myself to help me to be consistent and to get things done. Because I found that when I was in the salon, just knowing that my clients are booking within certain days and expecting me, that expectation helped me to be consistent. But when it was me on my own and no one was expecting me, I didn't have to respond, be responsible. It was hard for me to keep a healthy system going. So I had to reflect and observe myself, observe what it is that I need, and create a system from that so that I could achieve the things that I want. So yeah, when it comes to today's energy and the phoenix rising from the ash, there's a part of you that's no longer necessary, and that part is dying off, as there is a new part of you that's being reborn. When I think of the 2 of Cups energy in the upright position, I think of, say, the Ace of Cups, which talks about a beginning to a premonition, a beginning to a creative idea, a beginning to something that touches the heart. When I think of the 2 of Cups, I think of putting something in motion. So the Ace of Cups could remind me of, say, the idea of, I want to be in a healthy, loving relationship. The 2 of Cups, okay, putting that thought into motion by going out, going out whenever people invite you out, if you feel the need to go, being more active and connecting with others more, putting yourself out there so that you can attract that thing, so that you can be in alignment with that thing, or just being more open to connecting with others. When I think of the number 2 energy, I just think of nurturing a thought, nurturing an idea. So with the 2 of Cups coming up in the upright position, that momentum and that will to nurture whatever idea that you've been reflecting on that has to do with you as an individual and how you're relating to others and connections that you're making, to me, that is emphasized big time today. Because again, I go back to the Aries new moon that happened on March 21st, and we're going to be having another Aries new moon, but this will be like a super new moon because it'll be like a total solar eclipse coming up soon. But with that Aries new moon, I think about how when we reinvent ourselves sometimes, it causes us to lose relationships and connections. Because again, people might feel better about us when they can relate to us when we're not being the highest version and the best version of ourselves. And when we evolve out of that and start doing better for ourselves, that can be a threat, because that's a reminder to that person that they too can make changes within themselves if they see fit. And deep down, sometimes people want to make changes within themselves, but they just haven't gotten to that point yet where things click and they're able to move forward and make it happen. So sometimes, your change can be a threat. Your change can be intimidating, and it could cause people to act different and sometimes even push you away, which causes the relationship to come to an end. But it just brings me to the thought and the importance of not being afraid or ashamed of growth. Like, growth is inevitable. So whatever is not growing is rotting, it's dying. So when it comes to, say, relationships, connections, and the things that you're relating to to me, it's necessary for, think about in school when we'll have like our report card where something is tracking the progress that we're making. I feel like within ourselves and within all things, it's important to reflect on where you are and where you're trying to go and what's assisting you within that growth or what's enabling that growth. So I think of like a relationship or a friendship. And, you know, the friendship or relationship, you guys, that connection itself is its own entity. It's like it's going places. And say there's a misunderstanding and from that misunderstanding, it's like the ship is stagnant. It's not flowing the way it should. So this is where reflection is necessary, and then addressing it and figuring out ways to allow things to move smoother. Or is it time for everybody to go their own separate ways and stop putting energy into this shit because it's no longer in alignment with where you're trying to go or where the other person's trying to go. But reflection is necessary. And when I think about the number 8 vibration, I think about that because for me, whenever we're in a 8 personal year cycle, whenever we're in a personal year 8 cycle, to me, that's a time to like take inventory. Because in a 9 cycle, the number 9 energy is putting everything to an end to create something new. So in an 8 cycle, it's where we take inventory to decide like, okay, am I going to build on this thing and make it better, or am I going to scrap it and start something new? So I feel like that's what the energies in today is really emphasizing, the importance of, you know, what are we going to do to make this relationship, this friendship better? Are we going to go to therapy? What are we going to do? Or are we going to go our separate ways and celebrate the fact that we came together in the first place and had an experience? Because life is all about creating and having experiences. I'm not going to go so much into the astrology of what's happening on the charts because I went over that in the full moon video. So hopefully you check that out. It was such a pleasure sharing this message with you. If you'd like to book a reading with me or check out my exclusive contents only on Patreon, the link for that, or the links for Patreon and the reading, is in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a pink heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.